here with Money Match Gaming. And today we're going to be, we're going to be chilling. The stream says we're going to be chilling, just chilling. We're chilling. We're also earning crypto 24/7. That's just going on in the background. We are not mining. We do not have miners. Miners cost a lot of money. Those cost like thousands of dollars. I ain't got that. I can't even say that anymore. Kind of whatever. But we're not spending money on miners. Why spend the money on a miner when you can put it into DeFi, which is, I feel like both of them are kind of risky, right? I feel like both of them have a toss-up of risk. Let's see if this takes me to the right screen. Cool. Both of them have a toss-up of risk, right? Mining and DeFi. However, with mining, I don't know. There's the whole aspect of electricity and whether or not that miner is gonna, how long is that miner gonna work out for you versus the market? Because technology is always increasing, etc. It's always becoming that much more difficult to mine. And similar like to DeFi, but I don't know. It's a matter of where you want to take your risk, right? Let me not dawdle on this too long, because what are we going to be doing today? We're going to be talking about how we're earning in crypto, doing this in a chill fashion. So if you're here right now, we're chilling. We're chilling today. Hopefully I can make some YouTube videos out of this, but this is like our daily stream after work. And if you're like, oh, who's this guy to be explaining crypto to me, or for me to even care and listen to crypto or from crypto about this guy? I'm a guy that's been in crypto since 2017. I'm like, is it 16 or 17? It's like one of those years. Pretty sure it's 17. Yeah, at the time, when I first got introduced, I started to learn code and stuff like that so that I could earn crypto. Like from day one, I've always been earning crypto consistently. I'm like, I guess not initially day one, but from year one, earning crypto. So we've always figured out ways to earn crypto consistently. And so, yeah, I've been in the market since 2017. I was part of DeFi Summer, really early to DeFi Summer in different blockchains. When I look at my DBank account for one of my wallets, it's got 17 or 18 chains on it. I'm not active on all of those chains daily, but probably at least half of those are earning some type of passive income for me. So that's 9 chains or so that I'm earning some sort of passive income with. And that ranges from a few $1,000s to $20. I think my smallest pools are $20 that I have money invested in. It's probably less than that on some of these other chains that I'm not even counting in the half. But we're earning across the board. Everything is earning something somewhere is earning something all the time. Cause why not? Why would you do that? Cause I don't know. What about if it gets really dire one day and you hear about these countries where it's yeah, they get paid $30 a month or something like that. Well, I got places where it's paying me $5 a day right now. Well, I'm definitely making $30 a month in some places and stuff like that. So that's what I look at as a fallback. What if yada yada, turmoil, etc. Do you have any sort of fallback, any sort of income coming in from your crypto investments? And we can say yes to that. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, if you want to learn how we earn crypto 24/7, how I earn crypto 24/7 with DeFi, with gaming, writing, making videos, etc., tag along, chill with us today. Let me pull up. That's the end of the thesis. It's long. We're gonna go over to X, aka Twitter. You can see our website here, or our Twitter here, or X, and you can see our buddy Jim Kieran. I don't know if he'd call us a buddy, but I think he'd call us a buddy. We met back in the D Live days. I like Jim Kieran, and I hope I'm saying your name right. I don't really hear you say your name a bunch, so I know you stream, but I don't normally get to catch other streamers. I'm normally just reading his tweets and stuff like that and supporting him when I can. But we're gonna jump into the spaces and see what they're talking about. Maybe we'll jump on the mic in the spaces today. Like I said, we got lots to share, but do we share all? Sometimes we can be bigger. We can be bigger for what we do. Let's jump in and see what they're talking about today. But he's part of Wolf's DAO and a bunch of other stuff.
Not interested in sports games, TCGs, and stuff like that, right? And I'm glad that some companies went ahead and reached out to me anyway. But the fact that there were people reaching out to me for deals tells me that they weren't even perusing my Twitter, or they just generally do not care who they advertise to. And I'm like, all right, and yes, I'm also kind of an outlier, so I'm open-minded. I'm going to try new games. So Parallels caught me and pulled me into the TCG market, and STG football got me into sports again. So keep an open mind as well. Try new things. We might surprise you. Well said. Last resort.
Yeah.
again, just kind of piggybacking off what Jim Kieran said there, and again, coming
I
from
said the right
Go
thing.
Autopilot, not the company brand, Last Resort, but that's kind of what happened to me, man. So I was working a Web2 job, 9 to 5, did that for about a decade. COVID hit, got laid off. I spun up a YouTube channel covering Web3 gaming, got it to like 5,000 subs or so. Covered a project I thought was just cool. They didn't pay me or anything. Then the founder reached out and was like, "Yo, do you want to help lead community marketing for us?" Did that for a while. Project fell apart, unfortunately. Started my own startup after that. That didn't pan out either. But then I was so interested in the space, I created like a Twitter or a podcast, excuse me, to kind of interview founders that I thought were cool, talk about their journeys. And through that, I was able to meet Matt, who's at Last Resort now, and come onto his team as a board member. So yeah, dude, the journey's there. It just it's a it can be long and grueling. And if anyone needs any help, or
Got
has
this guy on my
questions,
game more
I can
list.
help out in any way. Don't hesitate to ping me. Happy to do it.
Yeah, awesome. Sander.
We are game. I don't know if it just
Yeah, I
landed him or
totally
not.
agree
It's
with
been
you
doing that
guys.
lately.
I think anything is possible in Web3, and there are definitely a lot more opportunities in this space than any other industry, I think, because yeah, there's just a lot going on, and if you really want it, I think you can definitely achieve it. I have a similar story to you, where I was just getting involved in NFTs and Web3 projects, and then by chance I met Graslow and started working for Aldor, and then through Aldor I got connected to Annie from Eat Lizards, and now I'm doing some stuff for them as well on the side. So it's definitely possible if you really believe and want to be a part of this industry.
Sander, I think the cops are coming after you. I heard some sirens in the background there. Jim Kieran.
Yeah, there was like 8 cars driving past. I live right next to the highways.
Bro, I thought that was my house.
I did not hear that at all. So
Jim Kieran.
not at all.
Well, I mean, Sanders said if I want and can achieve anything, then when can I use my pangolin in Oldor? I'm still waiting.
Let's make sure this guy is a game whore. He is a game whore.
We have been working on a lot of stuff. I don't know if you saw this, but we put out a monthly update, and we posted on Medium. We just posted the monthly update on the 1st, and we showed off 3 new areas. Just
I don't know that I have him in my game more list though.
Tell you what the areas were. Kassar, which is a city near Karg in the desert. Fairwatch Keep, and then the Tinderbark Forest and the town there, Ravenspire. But there's a little bit of info on the areas, but we are working on some open world stuff. We're working on a new teaser trailer. We've got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm really excited
like
to
a speaking
share all
thing.
that when it's ready. But again, like with the conversation we've had, like figuring out the timing, because there's some stuff we can roll out tomorrow, but it's like, is it going to help us long term, or is it gonna be one of those kind of it's a really short term and like short term positive, long term negative kind of thing. So we're just we're kind of balancing those things out. But we have so much that we're working on in the back end, really cool stuff, including metahuman characters. I'll just say, like, Unreal Engine is doing amazing things. The latest versions, 5.2 and 5.3, have introduced just some incredible new tech and made some old tech really usable in a new way. So yeah, really bullish on Unreal Engine. I mean, I'll just say, like, we talked on Gamified earlier about the Zuckerberg interview where we saw the facial animation and it looks so realistic. That's about to be the technology that any game developer can use. Basically, any game will be able to put that in their game in some capacity, and you can use it for cinematics and things like that. Be able to cook those things in a day. Like turn around a cinematic within a really short period of time. Or a little further down the road, it's possible that gamers will be able to record their own facial animations, and even body mocaps to do like when you finish Call of Duty, or you finish some game, and like in between, you see like the winning team do some taunt animation or something.
Yeah, let me make sure you guys can hear this.
Imagine making your own custom animation, that you mocap yourself, but instead of buying a $3,000 suit, you just record it on your iPhone or using your webcam. Like, that technology is here, it's just being perfected. Like, we were very close to that being good enough to be like mass used, and yeah, I'm really bullish on that. So it's exciting. Golden.
Yeah, I will say that technology's been here for a while. They just don't. It's just not utilized. The Xbox Connect, I think it was, like my very first Unity game back in like 2013 or so. I was maybe I can't remember the exact year. I mocapped like all my I mocapped on the Xbox. I can't, whatever that thing was called. I can't remember. It was so long ago. The Connect. Okay, I was right. The first time off the Xbox Connect, I was able to like mocap in my living room all my animations were. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's just the quality has really improved. Like seeing the before and after of some of these, some of the
person is
stuff,
a game on, but they're not really.
Like, it looks very good. Like, I won't say cinematic quality, but like it doesn't look like just clunky kind of game animation. It looks very good. There is a little bit of cleanup you have to do, and it kind of depends on like the outfit you're wearing. If you're wearing like baggy clothes, you're going to get worse, worse outcome there. But it's so far very good.
This title, I got
like early alpha of their version, but we're using Unreal's MetaHuman Animator, and I've used that many times on my phone. It's amazing. Like, we've got a tech demo that we've done and shared it around a little bit, but I mean, I'm really bullish on it. Just how easy it is to, because like when someone was telling me when the feedback on the video I sent, they said, oh well, let me give you some tips on mocapping this face, and they were thinking if we spent like a week mocapping some facial animations, and I said, oh no, this is my face. I just recorded it on my phone, and it's it rigged it to the MetaHuman, and so yeah, they were kind of blown away that took us like minutes to do instead of weeks. But yeah, and this technology is about to be in everybody's hands, so I'm excited for that. But again, wanted to thank everybody
motion
for
capture.
Coming out. Yeah. Last Resort, our guest, everybody who came up to speak. Really appreciate all the support, and I love just being here. These spaces, have been something that we've been putting on for a long time now. I think maybe a year. Like, we started as just like an Oldor space, just giving weekly updates on the game, and then it became kind of morphed into just a Web3 space, and talking about Web3 gaming, AI. And really just any topics, and we've never had really a structure, but it's always kind of worked out to where we have great topics, great comments from people. Really appreciate everybody. I unfortunately do have a meeting, so I'm going to have to wind it down, but hope everyone has a great rest of your night or morning wherever you are in the world. We do these every Wednesday, so would love for you to come back next week, but definitely would recommend the gamified space, which several in here are on the panel regularly for that space. It is just it's like this space, but slightly better. It's 10% maybe. No, it's an amazing space, really great. So couldn't recommend it enough. But yeah, and I didn't talk about Oldor very much, but if you are interested, go check out our latest update. It's on our Medium, but it's also, I think, pinned on the Oldor account. But yeah, take care, everybody. Thanks for coming out, and have a great one.
Dang, I didn't really say much.
Yeah, you too, Brazil. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, showing some support to the spaces, just jumping in, checking things out. Can I close? There you go. There you go. All right. Is this the right DBank account? This is. All right. So we're going to look at this DBank account really quickly. I'm probably going to go over to this other account, show some stuff. I don't know what I was trying to do here. Just cancel that. It's the new wallet that I added. This is the Zelle wallet. If you're like, ooh, what's that? This is the Zelle wallet. It connects anywhere that MetaMask connects, and it has a bunch of cool features. It has a bunch of cool features that MetaMask doesn't have. So what are those cool features, Smurf? So one of the features is DeFi. We found no DeFi apps here, but that's just because it's fairly new, and I'm not on Ethereum with this. I wonder if I transferred to one of my bigger wallets, if it would show like all these old DeFi projects that I was in or something, if I have like fractions in them. But basically it shows your DeFi liquidity positions here. So if you have any liquidity positions staked, and I don't have any on Arbitrum or Optimism or BNB or Polygon on this wallet. This wallet only has them on base chain. So that's why this is what it is. Man, Ethereum was down like 1% today. I should have got in quicker. I was like, it's down like 1%. You know, for big players, close to 1% is enough to jump in the market. Maybe put like 3x leverage on it or something like that. You get at least 1%. Take the profit. Anyways, DeFi positions. It also show your NFTs. That's starting to become more frequent from some of these wallets. But some other cool things about this app is it has a built-in VPN. So VPN is built in, a bunch of different RPC settings, so you can set multiple RPCs with this thing. What else has it got that's really cool? Oh, banking. So you can, let me see if it's going to settings, if it would show it there. Maybe not. But it's got this integration, which is currently only available to, I think, select users in the UK, because they're still like testing and stuff. But it has an on and off ramp directly to banks. So like your actual bank, it'll do an on and off ramp. And the cool way that it does this is it uses a proxy address. So it's using a VPN and a proxy address. What's a proxy address, Smurf? A proxy means there's like another wallet somewhere that is going to send those funds through as they hit your bank account or when they're coming from your bank account. So it interacts with a proxy address and not your actual address. Why would it do that? In case the bank wants to be like, oh, this, the transfer came from this account, we're going to blacklist this account. Like that type of thing. They do that. They do that type of stuff with some of these places. And so by using this proxy wallet address, it will not blacklist your actual wallet. It'll be blacklisting some proxy address, and it switches the proxy address the next time. Next time you send a transfer or the other way, whether you're off ramping or on ramping, it'll use a different proxy address. And so it's not connecting it to your actual wallet. That your actual wallet will not be the one getting blacklisted if that should happen. So it's not saying that'll happen, like guaranteed or something. But if it were to happen, it's not going to be your actual address that happens to. You're not even worried about it in the backside. You get your transfer through, and you don't have to worry about it. Oh, here it is. Action. So bank transfers, free, instant, on ramp, and off ramp. Oftentimes, when there is an on ramp or off ramp, they take a little percentage. And sometimes maybe it's a bigger percentage, but they're doing it free. They also have bridging and swapping features. So the swapping, I imagine, is going to be similar to the bridging. Again, this is a fairly new wallet that's still in development. So everything works. However, all the chains that you might be like, oh, I want to swap on OPBNB, if you're like really into DeFi like me, which is optimistic BNB chain. So BNB's L2. You're not going to be able to swap on OPBNB yet. There might be a way to do that in the app, like in the app. You can do it, of course, on that chain using the Zelle wallet, but in the app itself, you might not be able to do that yet. But yeah, here's what that looks like in general. Just show you guys real quick and move on with this portfolio view that we had on DBank. So see a bunch of coins they already got loaded up in here. This is really nice, and of course you can just add in more coins, but they got tons in here. See the different chains that come with it, and all this stuff came in I didn't load any of this stuff in here. These all came with the wallet, just preloaded. The RPC node, which has got that VPN on it, but Arbitrum, Ethereum, Polygon, BNB, Avalanche, Optimism, Phantom, Genosis, Aurora. And I think there's that many more. That many more maybe that aren't on. This is for like the swapping or whatever feature though. But yeah, just some cool stuff, just some cool nerdy stuff. Anyways, back to the portfolio here. This wallet, we're using this portfolio specifically for generating funds for our Web3 events, and so currently we're playing it really safe. I consider it really safe. We're using my and USDC on. Oh no! I don't even know what to do about that. Do I have any soap app? I do. Where did it go? Like I looked away and it like disappeared. Like it like evaporated. It's like a dark liquid. That's weird. Anyways, yeah, see, I was imagining the market's going to go back up. I'll show you guys what I was thinking there for the market in just a second. But I'm using my and USDC, and I'm only going over here because I want to show you guys my. Look, it popped in there for me. This is a decentralized stablecoin. I'm not saying like it's like the best decentralized stablecoin because it's not, but it is a decentralized stablecoin that we're using, and yeah, that's what it do. I just had to show it real quick. You can see some other tokens that I've been looking at, obviously, because it's like loading that in there. I wish it wouldn't do that though. So basically, but yeah, we're using some Aerodrome to farm here. The APR over here is only like about 20% or so. Only 20%, I know. If we're talking about like bank accounts or something like that, 20% APR is actually like really high, sky high. 4% more than, is it bonds that's giving like 5% or treasure? Something's giving like 5% in like the more normie world right now. And this is 20% on some stable coins and DeFi. And Aerodrome, if you're like, yeah, but it's some platform called Aerodrome. How can that, okay, so Aerodrome is like a fork of a fork of a fork. So it's a fork of Velodrome. Velodrome is the most popular DEX. I'm pretty sure it's the most popular DEX on Optimism. And that is a fork of Solidly, which is like a fork of like Curve, which is, so it goes down the list. I'm pretty sure Solidly is a fork of Curve. It uses like the same type of mechanisms as Curve, so that's why I'm saying that. If somebody wants to get really stickler and be like, okay, well, you got me, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So SynSwap over here, this is just amazing in general, right? So this is, oops, I didn't really want to go to that one, but what I wanted to show here is that like for any farm, right, the APR over here is probably like, we can go to, actually, let's go see what the APR is. It's probably going to be like 70% APR or something like that. But for any farm or any investment, if you only invest, this was $28 that I invested over here. If you only invested $28 and in the first month of your investment, you earn $1 from $28, that's a win. You are not going to invest go ahead and invest $28 in the bank or bonds or treasuries or whatever. I don't even know if you can invest that small of an amount in bonds and treasuries or whatever. But go ahead and invest $28 somewhere and see if you make $1 or more in a month. You're not going to. You're probably not unless it's DeFi. It is not going to happen. That's not how it works. That's not like that. Like hard to happen, bro. But you can do it over here in DeFi, and that's what we do over here in DeFi. I haven't been here in a little bit. It's like looking kind of funky. Maybe I want to go to the yield section. There it goes. Okay, I was in stake, and this is just for staking the one token. We're going to go over here to yields, and then V2. Whenever you see V2 in crypto and DeFi, it's referring to V2 liquidity, which was the previous version of liquidity, which is what everybody's used to in liquidity anyways. Everybody's used to, if you're like from DeFi summer 2020, and maybe you've like checked out of the market a little bit, you're used to liquidity pools being 50-50. But now they can be concentrated liquidity pools, aka you can set up different percentages. You could have it be 10%, 90%, or 40-60, or whatever the heck, and then it'll adjust. So what they have is not just V3 liquidity, but it's automated V3 liquidity. Oh my god, what was the TVO on this other one? I'm just curious. Okay. Oh, they're going up. Nice. But it's automated for you. And so with concentrated liquidity, you have to manage the pool because it's kind of like setting a stop loss on your liquidity provision. So like if the price of an asset, like let's say it's Ethereum, if we're supplying liquidity for, let's say we're supplying liquidity for ETH and USDC. And basically the way we set this pool up is that if Ethereum becomes $1,900, which is currently like $1,600, if it becomes $1,900 or more, then we'll stop earning. And we'll just have a certain amount of Ethereum and a certain amount of USDC. And we'll no longer be earning from the liquidity pair because it needs to be between 1,900 and like 1,700 for us to be earning any fees from that. And that's optional. That's like how you can set it up. So you have to choose some type of range for yourself to earn within. And concentrated liquidity, that's the concentrated part, is you're concentrating your liquidity on a specific range. And so it requires the tighter that you make that range, the more money that you can earn, the more fees that you can earn in that range. And so what this does is not only are you using concentrated liquidity, but then it's auto managing it for you for a small fee, for like 5% of your gains. So if you made $10, it would take 5% of that $10. It's not a whole bunch. Yeah, but that just makes it that much easier for you. So you can see over here, it's 88% APR. That's to me, that's sexy. To me, that's sexy because you have exposure to, like, let's say it was just $100, or more realistically, what we had, which was $28. So we had $28 over here. We'll log in. Sure, it's the first time we're connecting with Zell on stream. Ooh, Switch to base. Is it? I don't know if it's gonna do it for me right there. Can I just do it in the app? Let me see. Oh, I think. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Okay, so we've earned $1.12 since the last time we have claimed before. Since the last time we've claimed. From that $28. Dollars. I really forgot where we're about to go with this. Meow. Meow there, meow. But yeah, this 88%. This is just it's almost unheard of. It's almost unheard of to be getting this high. Oh, that's what I was about to. That was the point that we were about to make with the USDC. If it was like $28, like let's say, so we're basically exposing ourselves to Ethereum and USDC, and this started as just cash. It just started as USDT on the Tron blockchain actually, and we moved it over here because we said, I can earn some stuff if I move it over there. Connect again. This is the website's issue. But instead of just having that USDC exposure, now I've exposed myself to USDC and Ethereum, and I'm earning 88% APR because I chose to do that. And where it would normally be a little bit more difficult to manage this position, I might get if I wanted to earn this high APR, I might have to go in almost daily and adjust it, increase it a little bit, widen it so that I can continue to earn. I don't have to do that here because it's auto managing it for me. And so that's the beauty of this situation, is that we're earning this nice juicy APR with what was cash and what could be considered cash. However, we've balanced it out, so part of it is in Ethereum, part of it is in USDC. And again, we started with $28. Market going up a little bit since then, so now it's $29. And this is like all within a month. And we've earned that. Man, I really wish it. Stop trying to kick us out, bro. And then we get that same issue. Why, website? Why? There we go. And then we get that earnings, that $1.12. So, actually it's like 27, whatever the heck. But yeah, you get the idea. The idea here is to create a money machine, passive income. So this is just one of the protocols that we're using to do that. So we're using Aerodrome, we're using SynthSwap, we're using Velocimeter, and we're using base rate. So let me pop that up on screen real quick. Oops. Could have just. Yeah. I was looking up some IRS tax stuff or whatever the heck. It was more of like a little Twitter thing with this one guy. He was like, "Why would I be taxed if somebody gave me $5 million?" It's like, cause of the law. I don't know, bro. The law says you'll be taxed if somebody gives you $5 million. It says if it's over 17,000, you'll be taxed. They just gift it to you. But anyways, over here we got some nice juicy APRs. Unfortunately, this token's dipped a little bit today. So when I go show this other account that we're earning over here with, it's going to be a little bit lower than we might have earned. But it's a daily income. So 189% APR. That's more than twice what we were earning on SynthSwap, and the same liquidity pair. So we're still earning with ETH and USDC. SynthSwap, that was concentrated liquidity. Over here, this is just V2 liquidity, so it's just 50-50 split. However, that's nice. So let's just, they have these little lovely calculators all over DeFi where you can see how much you might earn with a certain amount of money. So with $100, if I had $100 deposited over here, in one day with $100 in ETH and USDC, so I'm taking exposure to both of those, I would earn 50 cents. In a week's time, that's $3.62. Now, obviously, if I increase that, as I say, I had $1,000, that would be in a week's time $36 or $5 a day. That's pretty juicy to me. That's nice. That's like I don't know, whatever like thing you gotta consider, like what type of bills or something, or like BS expenses you might normally spend in a day. Like if I was a parent and I had like a kid, I don't know how much lunches cost at school these days, but I know my parents used to give me like $5 like a day for like lunch at school. Like back in the day, it'd be like $3. But then eventually, like I went to a more expensive school, private school, and it was like $5 a day for lunch. And I thought that was like insane. I was like, oh, just give me $5 a day to spend. But anyway, something like this will cover that. If you had $1,000, you know, and you got some good, you got some, you know, some DeFi, $5, you covering lunch money here. So that's what we think. That's what we consider. Like, how much is that like knocking out in terms of bill cents? And when we're talking about this type of portfolio in DeFi and providing for prize pools for gaming events, that $5 is the entire prize pool for our King of the Hill events, for example. So knocking out the cost of King of the Hill with something like this. And yes, it does say a 4% deposit fee, but when these things start, the APR looks like this. So what is that? What does it say? That's 4% a day. So day one, if you get in day one, you're pretty much knocking out the deposit fee. And then by day two, you should have, again, you probably should have done, by day 4, you definitely should have knocked it out. If you got in day 1, you should have knocked out the deposit fee. You earned it all back. I deposited it was like $1,900, so $1,900 or so in this thing, and I've earned $130 from that. So it was like a $70 deposit fee from the 4%. And yeah, I've more than or almost doubled that. It'll be like a doubling today probably. And as I say probably, let's go over and check that out. Let me pop up my other wallet over here. Actually, I don't have to do that portion. Just need to make sure that I can turn this thing on. Really? Is it going to connect? Because I don't know why it would connect. I'm going to push the button. I'm going to see what happens. I haven't, like, given it, like, a... Huh. Interesting. It's just using my MetaMask to connect and do that. Interesting. Interesting. Right. Switching windows. Over here, we got $32 deposited in a more volatile pair. It's earned us in the last day. This is in one day. $32 has earned us $1.33. So, moving over to the safer pair. I like to use USDC and ETH. I've always used USDC and ETH. We've been using USDC ETH pair for like 3 or 4 years now. Like 4 years or so. In the last 24 hours, again, I told you it's about 1900 that we put in there. And so this is susceptible to the price of Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up, this will go up. If Ethereum goes down, this will go down. And it won't go up or down as strong as Ethereum because it's balanced out by that USDC. So that keeps it anchored a little bit. So if Ethereum goes up like 10%, this might go up like 6%. I forget what the exact math in it is, but as an example. Yeah, and in the meantime, you're earning this yield from the deposit, and so the deposit makes up for that because, you know, today Ethereum, like, what did it go down today? I forgot what happened today. Like, what we have in the last 24 hours in crypto? Refresh. I'm gonna make sure I'm not a bot. I am not a bot. All right, so 0.5% that it's going up at this point. I might jump into a trade here because I think it's going to continue to go up. But 0.5% so far, right? And so Ethereum's going up, and then on top of that, we also earned, just ticked up a little bit more, $10. So we got price appreciation in our Ethereum and USDC, and on top of that, we also earned $10. And again, that's like if we're talking about lunch money, that's multiple days worth of lunch money. Simulation not supported on base. Yeah, because I'm not trying to use this wallet, honestly. Am I just not logged into my MetaMask? No, we are. I don't know if I have to like stop that wallet for it to like not take over right now or what. I've actually never had to. I just imported this thing today. Normally I don't use this wallet or this thing. But I was like, you know what? Let me play with it some. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I think I'm gonna have to actually like turn this off since it's not. I don't actually have the wallet connected. It's really just tracking my wallet. I just have it viewing my wallet and seeing what my wallet does. So that's why I was like, oh, this is interesting that it's even doing any of this stuff because you're technically not even knowing. Here, let me go over here just in case anything weird pops up. I'm gonna turn it off real quick. Clicking. And I haven't written a post for fun. I've written threads this week, but I haven't written like a blog post for fun this week. So we need to make sure we do that. Going back to our window here, it's going to cost us 1 cent on base chain. That's cheap. You can see we just earned 1 cent. Like since I said $10, we earned 1 cent since I said $10. So it's like nothing. It might be 2 cents by the time I get this transaction through. And there's potential token price appreciation. So again, this was like $3,000 yesterday. This is a really volatile asset, which is why I don't have this one. Oh, I guess I'm in that pool, but whatever. Cool. So we claimed that $10, and yeah, I mean, like, let's let the math on that. Let's just, for people's sake, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's some random math I was doing. $10 times 30, obviously. Oops, you know, it's $300. It's $300 a month at this current rate, which is like, I don't know, that's depositing some money over here to potentially buy an Xbox a month if I wanted to, or I don't know, a new video game every week if I wanted to. So far, I paid back my Mortal Kombat the other week, made that money back, or at least half of it, because it did cost us $70 to get in here, but we got $140 now, so we made the money back, and it's $70. So we're in profit, like 70 or 80 or so now. But yeah, that's enough of this portion of things. Let me roll over to this weight screen. Push over here. We just like to show that stuff because, like, you know, it's I feel like a lot of people are, oh, can you earn money in crypto still? The market's dead. I gotta wait for a bull market, this or that. And I don't know. A lot of us in crypto are jaded. Where it's if you were in crypto during the whole bull market, in the bear market, you were used to like everything being like potentially a few 100% APR or thousands of APR. And that's just crazy. It's actually insane. However, these APRs are still nice. 88% APR is nice. 100, and it took me a while to, like, you know, I guess it is kind of nice. That's still nice. 190% APR, that's nice. And you can throw your earnings into these higher risk ones. You can throw your earnings into the higher risk ones and get that juicier APR if you want to take that risk. But in general, these are still like really nice APRs. But a lot of us in crypto are just used to, you know, we're a little we're spoiled. So yeah, there's that. Here's another way of thinking about this, though. Another way to think about that. Let me go over to the webcam view. Another way of thinking about this is if the market is currently down. So Bitcoin maxed at like $70,000 or so in the bull market. So it's like 3 times less than that right now. So the number one cryptocurrency is 3 times less, like 300% less, on the way up. And a lot of these other cryptos are like 90% down, etc. So let's just like use that 300 like thing. So a 100% on the current 26,000 Bitcoin is like, you know, 50 or so. We're in that 50 range, right? And then it goes up again. So it'd be like 120% or something like that, somewhere around there. Let's just say it's 100%, right? Everything's down like 90 to 100% right now. And you're earning, and you're earning, and you're like, oh man, it's only 80%. I'm only earning 80% APR. It's 80% APR that needs to be multiplied by 10. You need to, like, anything that you're earning right now in the bear market needs to be multiplied by 10. Especially if you're doing it with like these like solid assets, these blue chip assets, ETH and USDC, Bitcoin, even some other ones like, you know, Pendles and stuff like that, whatever. They're down right now. The market's down. So you can, like, you want to be more conservative, multiply by 5 or just 2. But everything, like, so like, what's that 88% times 2? Like you're already at 160% APR more realistically in a bull market. And that time will come. We're less than a year away from a bull market. And that means you were less than a year away from that $10 that I earned actually being worth $100. So that's the way that I'm choosing to see things right now. I started to like switch my train of thought like 6 months or so ago. I was like, you know what? Let's just start viewing it this way because it's a lot more realistic. And viewing things that way has helped out my portfolio a lot because the market has been going up. I wouldn't have bought the bottom. I literally bought the bottom. Like, last time I bought Ethereum, it was like $1,100. Like big purchase. Like, I'm gonna buy like 2 or 3 Ethereum or something. It was like $1,100 bucks. I think it went down to like 900 or 800 at some point. That's pretty much the dang bottom. And so it's like 2x from there almost. And I don't know, that can be like everybody's story if people actually jump in. But most people are going to wait. Most people are going to wait until the market goes up and they get like a 20% increase on whatever they deposit it at best. But not us. We're going to take that ride all the way up, taking these $10 gain days, investing them into other things, and hopefully having a nice ride up. It's something we've been watching a lot lately. Elephant Money. It's funny with this token because yesterday everybody was pissed. People that like pay attention to it because they're like, "Oh, it's going down." It did lose like 30% or something like that yesterday, which is like it's a lot, right? But it was up over 100% in the week. Like calm down, Junior. Something is up that much should maybe correct a little bit. 100%, yeah. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe I'm thinking Toshi, but it was up a lot. And as comparison, here is the last time that we bought Elephant Money. Back in 2022, it was like September. So I got to go forward a little bit. So we're back here. This is back when we bought Elephant Money, and I was like, I'm just gonna ride it out. It's all the way down here, y'all. It's all the way down here. Look at this ridiculous chart. This is like the Bitcoin chart. This is like the bull run. This is like what you'd expect to happen in like people. This is what people experience in the bull run. You experience this type of ridiculous parabolic climb. And we just experienced that in the last year because we've been buying these different tokens and stuff like that, actually being in the market. So most people like in stock, a lot of stock traders and stuff like that are never going to get this type of gains. Like people that just invest in stock, you're never going to have your asset go, not in a year. No. But that happened all the time over here. Another good asset, which I was watching the Gentleman of Crypto the other day, and I was like, the dude was like, "Oh, what are some under 150 million market cap tokens I should be looking at?" And he looked at like the silliest tokens. I'm like, bro, whatever. Like one of them that he looked at was like XLM. I'm like, that's got some credence to it or credit to it, but I was mentioning Pendo. I'm like, yo, Pendo, bro. Why would I mention Pendo? Look at this. In 11 months, it's up 1,900%. 1,900%. Almost 2,000% increase in price in a year. Not even been a year. That's crazy. And he was like, he never even put it on screen. And I was like, all right, whatever. He mentioned it because like I said it. So he like said the words, oh, Pendle. And then he like looked at XLM. Like, let's see what XLM did in the last year. I guarantee you it's not going to be 1,900%. 178% over the last year, which is nice. That's decent. Actually, 1 year to date, it's down 2.4%. My bad. So actually down in the yearly. Yeah. Because if you were last year on the 5th, this exact, tomorrow, it was 60 cents. Today, it's pretty much 60 cents, 59 cents. It ain't really go far. This other token that I was trying to have him put on screen, it's up 1,900%. Unless you don't I feel like he's like one of those type of traders that's like, I'll read like big headlines and stuff like that, and like, not that he's not in the market, but like I'm in the DeFi market, and so I'm like looking at these assets that actually like churn over money. They have to make money for me to even be interested in them. Like, it's the products that actually work in crypto, and a lot of people aren't looking at that. They're looking at the blockchain tokens. That's XLM. They're looking at these blockchain tokens, these high level tokens that are earning. These are the products on the blockchain. So it's like he's investing in like for comparison, he was like investing in like bonds or treasuries or something like that, like the United States in general. And I'm like investing in the stock market of the United States. I'm investing in Amazon, Facebook, Tesla. Like the things that run on top of the United States, not just the United States itself. Because the United States could be stable. It's trying to be more stable. And these other things are just like raking in the money. So that's my comparison of that. What's this thing done in the last month? I mean, we can see down here at the bottom. In the last month, up 11%. Was it like in like, isn't the stock market's average in a year like 11% gain or something like that? It's like 10 or 11% gain in a year. That's 1 month. So, point made. It should be made. That's crazy. That's crazy. But you got to know what you're looking for. How do you find stuff like that then, Smurf? How do you even find stuff like that? All right. There's the last thing I'm going to talk about, because then we're going to play some games or something like that. Because my whole day has been Web3 and blockchain and stuff like that and digging into. Man, I was writing about. What did I write about today? It was some crazy stuff. It was RPC load balancers. Doesn't that sound fun? You don't even. Most people don't know that. They're like, what is that, bro? Like, yeah, what is that? Right? That's like some developer level. Like, this is how you make your application better, smoother, faster, stronger. Friendtech still booming, even though they had this exploit situation. I only sent $20 over to Friendtech, and I told my friends when I did it. I'm going to dinner. All right, love. Love you. Love you too. I told my friends when I did it, when I sent my money over to Friendtech, I'm like, I'm treating my Friendtech deposit as it takes $20 to get this airdrop. And that's it. I'm gonna pay $20 and hopefully I get the airdrop from it. And if not, I spent $20. I'm not gonna spend thousands of ETH sending it over some custodial wallet that's not Coinbase or Binance. No, nah, or Kraken. No, I'm not doing it. I don't even want thousands of dollars in those places. Why would I do it for Friendtech? Heck no. But anyways, this website I'm on right now is called, here we go. Just realizing we talked about Pendle over here and stuff like that. Here's the Pendle chart. It's on my one thing. 1,700, 1,900%. Here's the chart. All that sexy. This is Token Termo, which a BitBoy mentioned one time on his previous channel and then went to the wrong website. I feel like somebody just told him it was like a site that you should go to from his team, and then he like, that's funny, because he's like such a big influencer. I'm like, oh man, I know you can't be in everything though, and running a show and stuff like so whatever. But why would you use this website? This is a really good website to determine. To my point of, I only invest in like the Teslas and stuff like that of the blockchain. These applications running on top of blockchains that are churning over money. This is where you find them. So what's earning the most money in blockchain and Web3? Web3 in general. In general, what's earning the most money? Ethereum. Look, here's Bitcoin. Here's how much the Bitcoin blockchain is earning. It's over here. Ethereum is earning the most money. Ethereum. Ethereum is earning the most money in blockchain, followed up by Tron. But everybody knows Tron is most likely manipulated by bots and whatever else Justin Sun has got working over there. China. I don't know. Lido Finance running on top of Ethereum. Uniswap running on top of Uniswap is on top of a lot of blockchains actually, but mostly on Ethereum. Then we got Bitcoin, BNB chain, Convex on top of Ethereum, Aave running on Ethereum and other blockchains, GMX running on Ethereum, truly, because it's running on I guess you could say it's Ethereum and Avalanche, but it's mostly, let's be real, it's mostly on Ethereum. MakerDAO, Ethereum, OpenSea, Ethereum, Friendtech. It's on Base Chain, which is Ethereum. Everything is pointing back to like all these things funnel into the money that Ethereum makes. So like if you don't have Ethereum in your portfolio, that's like, it's sad. That's a sad day. If you really thought Ethereum was so expensive that you should not have it in your portfolio, you are missing the point. You're missing the point. Like when I first got into crypto, Bitcoin was like $1,400, and I wish. I don't think I had that much in my bank account at that time though. But I wish I would have gathered it up and somehow and put it all into that, so that I could have that 1,400 be 26,000 right now. That'd be nice. It's okay. We still got like the same type of return with a smaller amount of money. And that's the thing. You can still get that same type of return with a smaller amount of money. But what this website does again is it shows you the value that these platforms are earning. So this is how much they're earning in fees. You can switch it to revenue, etc. And we're using it in the free version. There's paid versions, so you can get that much more detail out of this thing. You can check over these other things. I don't know. I never do gaming. Axie Infinity Decentral Games. This is where our boy Bitfiend be hanging out in Decentral Games. That's fun. We like never checked this over to see that, but that's cool. That's where he be. L2 blockchains. What are they gonna show us? Arbitrum leading the way. Optimism. Starknet. Really? Polygon and then Base. Base making its way in this world. Oh, and let's look at the derivatives. It's going to be GMX at the top, I'm sure. GMX, DXDY. That's sexy that GMX is beating DXDY now, because I think for a while DXDY was on top of GMX, so it had to have flipped it. And then we got Level Finance. Boy, we've been calling out Level Finance for a long time. I backed off a Level some because there was like some discussion about there being like bots actually running up the fees or whatever, the revenue generated on Level. And I'm not down with people faking stuff, but that's still nice. That's still nice. So they're kind of like in a Tron like type of situation over here, Level, like where this might be like Tron type of fiddling, fugazi stuff. We got Mux over here. I still like Mux. We got Gains. I like Gains. I have like all these tokens. I let go of my Level tokens though because it was gonna go down, and it's a good thing we let go of it. Cap all the way over here. Solve protocol. Really, I just learned about Solve this week. Just learned about Solve this week. Look at it. It's interesting. All right. I didn't know it was a derivatives one. It was talking about using like a new format of ERC20 token to bring like real world assets and other strategies on chain, be like basically NFTs and all this crazy stuff. God, that's interesting. But I didn't know it was a derivative exchange, which just means it's like Binance or Bybit or Hotbit or OKX or wherever you like to trade on leverage. It's like those places, but on chain. And the best one for those is GMX. All right, so this section down here is really nice. So this is where like you can't go in this top one for whatever reason and push revenue. It'll be like, oh, you need to have Pro. However, if you don't if you don't want to look at it in a chart form, you can get that exact same experience for free down here. Why ever they do that. So yeah, we can see the top. Friend Tech is really up here, bro. It's really up here. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. It's crazy. It's got more than 2 times the money making the MakerDAO has. Like if they rug this project, that'd be like the stupidest thing ever. It's like the stupidest thing ever. Like yes, like you get money, you make money because you rugged people and you ran away with it. But you have a product that is so successful, you could literally become billionaires in like the next like 2-3 years probably. Like they're gonna become like this is like Facebook, Instagram level wealth that these people have conjured up over here, especially in a bull run. Again, 10x this in a bull run, that's $36 million in 7 days that they'd be making right now. We're estimating, just throwing out some speculation, but that's pretty much, if we're gonna 10x that, $5 million in 24 hours. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. All right, so again, top level for these things is the blockchains, but we're looking for protocols that are doing it. So FriendTech is a protocol that's doing it like that. MakerDAO is a protocol that's doing like that. DYDX protocol, Lido protocol, blockchain protocol. Yeah, it's a protocol, but you can't really earn off of OpenSea like that. Synthetics protocol. We want something sexier though. Those are like so. Not that they're saturated, it's just like so much. You could say it's saturated as like a way of understanding it. It's like there's so much money that's already in these, they can only move so much. They're not micro caps. We found Level, it was a micro cap. GMX still somewhat of like a more micro cap. Liquidity, that's probably actually a really solid one. I feel like a lot of people don't know what it is. This is probably the best decentralized stablecoin. This is their stablecoin, so it just says Liquidity over there, but you got to know their stablecoin is LUSD, and it's at 99 cents. We showed you another decentralized stablecoin, at 89 cents, right? I love Hive. I love me some Hive. Let's see what their stablecoin is at today. It can be. Oh, this is not the right one. Sometimes Hive is actually on on the mark. Hive is a better decentralized stablecoin than Mai. I wish Hive was on more blockchains, or they need to do a better job of getting it out in more places, because they could be doing more just based on the stablecoin. Yeah, Hive 99 cents. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like who's in charge? Like we gotta send some proposals out or something, bro. Like Hive should be on base chain. People should be you should be able to like earn liquidity with it on all these other places and stuff like that, because this is a good stablecoin. No, it's not, Smurf. Look at this. In the last year, this is a good stablecoin. It's like always at 99 cents. Like it'll dip down sometimes. 89 right there. Back up. Max. Let's go look at the max. Look at this. It's like a good stablecoin, bro. This is what stablecoins do. It's a good stablecoin. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, we want to look at something that's juicy, or find something that's juicy. This is just me looking for something that's juicy at this point. Liquidity, GMX. I want to find something that's cheap, that's making a lot of money. Level. They're like, Level's making a comeback. You want some Level? Ugh. I got scared off. Let me look at it. $0.76 per level. Ooh, we did good when we sold. We sold Level around like, we sold it initially like $6, like after like believing in it from like a $4 pump. Sold it around 6, bought back in around 3, sold it around 4, just stayed out. Because at 6, we rode that 6 up from that 4 to 6, or that initially up to like $11. So we could have like made way more money, but we thought it was gonna stay up there. Yeah, this thing is getting battered. It's getting battered. That's not attractive to me. Like nothing about this looks attractive. Like it needs to do some type of turnaround. LGO. It's also getting pretty battered. This is their governance token. There's only 1,000 of these tokens, so that's interesting for it. Cause yeah, just I mean that's interesting. Only so many other token. It's very scarce. But yeah, it peaked up here around almost $400,000 per one LGO token. And now it's down at about $59,000 per LGO token. That's still like twice the cost of a Bitcoin. You know, speaking of things that are around the cost of a Bitcoin, what's the name of that token? From YFI. Yeah, like how much is Yearn right now? YFI down 36% on the year, up 1.7, 1.7. What's this look like? See, this is like what LGO needs to start to look like. Flatten out, start to turn around. That's like actually looking kind of sexy. You go from 5,000 to about 7,000 in a few months, potentially 10,000 by the end of the year, or next year, excuse me. So like a double up. You can get better than that with other tokens though. All-time high for this token, $90,000. Bitcoin was around 50,000. This thing was 90,000. Most people don't even know that. Most people, oh, Bitcoin is the most expensive cryptocurrency, this and that. It's like, no, LGO is more expensive than it right now. Yearn, more expensive than it right now. I wonder if we went to CoinGecko, will we see like more expensive tokens in general? Like by price, what's the most expensive things? That's not even gonna put these other ones in there. See, that's like why you can't trust this stuff. Because like, why wouldn't they at least put LGO in there right now then? Like, throw it up there. What's the reasoning? Is it just like not? Is it not ranked or something? Yeah, they don't have a number on it, and that's because they don't know the circulating supply, so they won't put it in here. But there's other tokens out there in the market that are like this, and you have to actually be able to know how to search for them. All right. All right. Is there anything else that we want to look at? It better not be frozen on that screen. I need to order a pizza and play some video games. And I can't play any more. That's the sad thing. Can't play any more Madden without buying it. Man. Could play some parallel right now. Could kind of go for some parallel. Can always go for some parallel. Let me see if that Austin White is on there streaming it today. Man, he always in here streaming. How is his following going? Is he getting followers from this every day? He takes all the followers. Everybody is watching Austin play. Day by day. Watching Austin play. Trey on Overwatch again. You really be playing quick play though. That's weird. Goose, duck. What the heck? Alright, I'm gonna leave it on this screen for a second. We're gonna put some music on. I've talked enough. People don't even know what you're talking about, Smurf. I'm like, hey, look, you listen enough, you'll eventually understand it. I went on a date with airport girl. You're calling her airport girl? What the heck does that mean? Bitcoin long maximum leverage. Yeah, that's let me do that before because I'm like, yo, crypto face, you're not gonna be the only one racking it in today. I don't know about maximum leverage. XRP wins again. Coinbase delists 80 pairs. Let's listen to crypto face real quick though, because I agree. This looks like a time to go into the market. He's probably like been in the trade though. Yeah, you got 58,000 earned right now. But like, what did he put in there? He's got a bunch of leverage on his head. 10x. That's a lot of leverage for him.
Twisted metal.
And
Gecko.
the position.
Thoughts on gold.
It's like $2 million, bro.
Changed. 1826. You know what I find stupid is when, for example, like gold, price of gold drops on like
listen to the crypto face with us.
Price of gold.
I'm not just gonna jump in because he's jumping. We're gonna look at trading view real quick. Make sure
you
this makes
see
sense.
the Twitters that are like, Zoop, this is not a shitcoin. This isn't a shitcoin. I bet you thought it was, huh?
Yeah, it's bouncing off here. Let me show you what I'm looking at.
Crash Team Racing was one of my favorites. And then you measure, you go, okay, well, gold's down 5%.
On the daily. This is the daily.
Coin. Yeah, I bet you thought it was.
It bounced off of this midline, so that's the Bollinger Band, and it's wide here, so it could go up crazy. I kind of swore I just looked at the daily and it did not look like that, but whatever. Yeah, we got this nice little formage here. Looking at it to at least go up to here, 1663. So yeah. I think we can do that. So I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, Jason, it is a odd time for CF stream, but again, I'm back from vacation. I actually slept a lot on vacation. Had to take a day yesterday to get my sleep on. And
I might go a
get my
little bit more
juices
leverage
flowing
just because
again,
I don't have
streams
$100
going,
in
videos
cash
going.
over
Jet
here.
Moto,
It looks like.
badass game. Jet Moto was badass. Get us back into the algorithm.
I could use this ETH that I have. I really like to use like about $100 or so. Oh, it's because I've been doing these trades on Binance, BNB chain. Currently, I'm looking at it on Arbitrum. Let me go to Sparta Dex. I got money over there just chilling that I'm not using. You guys see my screen for this part?
Alrighty, folks. I know, dude. I know. FG, man, he's I don't know. He'll come on a stream one of
Here's
these
the
nights or days when he feels like it.
58% Ether. That's not bad. 38% ETH USDC over here. That's
He's
just like
doing
compared
his
to that
thing, he's doing his
88%
thing,
though. Compared to that 88% though. Say it again. Compared to that 88% though. I'm gonna probably take all the stuff off of Sparta Dex. Like last time I tried to interact with it too, it was just it was trash. It was trash. It was trash. I don't know what to tell him. It's trash. I thought it was gonna like improve.
Space Jam, yeah, and NBA Jam, yeah. Anyways, folks, it's about
Keep up.
that time.
Oh, he getting off too.
It's about
Yeah.
that time.
So I'm gonna
It's good to be back.
split this up, and then I'll
I'm
get my
back.
cash, and I'll use the USDC
And,
to enter this trade.
hopefully tomorrow, today, the next day, the weekend, what have you, the price continues to go up overall. I thank you guys for being here that are here.
So I'm gonna enter this trade with like 3x leverage. I'm not gonna put a whole bunch of
Yeah,
leverage in there. I
appreciate
don't want to
you
be
guys'
stomped out.
support's terrific. You guys are awesome. Don't forget, if you weren't here before, Pencil Neck 25. They might all be used. 25% off MarketCipherTrading.com. Any option. To be honest,
This
I've
is
been
why I don't
deprived
want to,
of
because I just tried to send
my
that through, and
video
it's already like, yeah,
games I've
failed.
done, and I want to play.
Hey, bro, your
that's what I'm
application
gonna do.
fails transactions way too often. This is so trash.
And get some food. Until then, wish me
It's like
luck.
charging me like
I
5
wish
cents
you
for
luck.
each one of those. And it's like, it's not like crazy
Thanks
expensive.
for being here. God bless. I'll see you guys
5
soon.
times more than it was
I
on base
will
train.
be back soon.
That probably failed too. Jeebus, bro. I really, yeah, never, ever using this again. I will. Maybe somebody else comes back in and they're like, Sparta Dex is actually much better. Then maybe I'll return. But like currently, G. Sparta Dex is so whack. I wanted to believe. I can't believe like, and I knew something was up when like they had all these influencers that were like, yeah, I'm going into Sparta Dex. So yeah, I'm going into Sparta Dex and I'm using thousands of dollars. I'm like, there's no way they did not pay all that thousands of bucks, bro. They gave you $1,000 to go into Sparta Dex. There's no way they didn't. Because you're not about to, for what? What they got to special? I'm like bound to have to like raise hell in the Discord just to get this money out so I can make this trade. Like, I'm literally gonna have to go to their Discord and talk to them. This is crazy. What? No, just go to the dang. God damn. This is a bad message for them to get in the board, but like, oh, is there a way to ensure you remove liquidity, or do you just have to hope that one of the transactions doesn't fail eventually? Man, because that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Hold on, let me like see where else I can ask this question. Like, I would literally like to like just get my assets, but it'd be cool if I didn't have to waste a whole bunch of gas. Last time I used their app, it was just watching it drain my Ethereum little by little. Like, yep, they're just taking my. Go ahead, take it. Yeah, let me try increasing the slippage. Like, I don't, since they're not gonna be quick to respond to this. They don't have a active enough community to respond. Swap fee. I never. This is so trash. It's really, really garbage. Yes, it's really, really garbage. Buy Bitcoin because record 275 billion of debt added today. It just, how is it getting more expensive? What is this? Now it's like, it's 10 cent, bro. 10 cent. You want to get out of Sparta? 10 cent down. 5, 10 cent. Like, I spent. It seems like the platform is just trying to get like little fees out of you. Like, where's that going? And I was just gonna say failed again, but man, you just can't be happy using this. Like, no way. They just have no answer for it either. This is so true. You will burn. LP token balance. The fuck they talking about? You will burn. Why would you burn anything? This is such a trash platform. Did it give me my USDC? It did. And it still said it failed in my MetaMask. Remove liquidity. Failed. However, it went through. If I refresh this page, is it going to stop telling me that I have that money in the platform? Yes. get rid of this. Nobody got up to me in time. Got my money though. Just never going back to that platform. It's garbage. Alright. Let's find a good way, a good time to enter. I mean, I don't know that it's a bad time. We're currently on the 1 hour in the midst of indecision candle. Let's take a look at that. So that's where we're at in the 1 hour. We needed to bounce off of this, keep going up. I'm using a Heikenhashi candle, so that should be. Yep. So I'm like, it might go lower for us to get a better entry. Or we could just enter anyway. So we could just be like, screw it. Let's get in. Where is the yeah, what's up with the MACD, bro? Study error. Can I refresh it? Yeah, let me load back in that boy. That's what I call that layout. Wow, they're really not gonna give me the MACD. That's whack. Okay, what other things we like? I mean, do I just have to type it in? I forgot which MACD I was even using. For real, for real. No, they're like, you got too many things loaded in. Fam! Wow. Excuse me? What do they like take? Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Not true. Not true. Wow, that's like ass. It did not reach my max. I think it's just broken right now. And I don't think I can like throw a MACD. Maybe I can throw a MACD over here. It's like, yeah, we might be coming down a little bit. Might be coming down a little bit. You sure you want to get in? Could go down to that 36. That's like $10 down, which is a decent little percentage. It might not be done forming its low. I might want to wait for this like 1640 level or something. 1640, 1646. At 46, I mean, that's basically at the 46. Is it there right now? It actually is, yeah. This is like a support level. Alright, screw it. We're only going to use 3x anyways. Let's get it on 5x. Alright, so fees and price impact. Swap price 10 cents, swap USDC 1 cent, open fee $1.44. That's the most expensive fee. All right, fun thing here, I also like to use this as an indicator, is like available liquidity. There's less than 1 million left of available liquidity. Usually when that like runs all the way out, it's like everybody was like, yo, the market's going up. And you get everybody telling you the market's about to go up. Like everybody on the chain agrees the market's about to go up. So. Yep, I'm only gonna make $100 available. And I'll probably send like the rest, like another $100 or so, over to base chain. And have that earning and turn that USDC into ETH and USDC and have it earning something. Oh, really? Is this just like the new norm on base chain or Arbitrum? Like, what's up? Why would that fail? That's wild. I don't even think it failed. I think it just said it failed. Maybe it's not Sparta Dex. Maybe it's just Arbitrum. Yep, because it says that transaction failed too. But then it actually put my order through. Huh. It's weird. Maybe it's not Sparta Dex's fault. Either, I mean, they still got a low APR. It's not like there's not a lot of money over there. All right. And then I gotta order this pizza. Man, we're busy, guys. We're busy. Here, let's listen to some
even on
cryptos
on
RS
your
real
own
quick.
wallet rather than exchange.
George.
Right? But there's a lot of legit exchanges out there. I mean, yeah, so it's more safe to believe in your wallet versus exchange, right? So it's willing. If you're willing to take that risk. If you want to trade a lot, then I guess you can leave it on exchanges. But if you're just go buy and hold, then put on your own wallet.
No, even what he's saying right there. If you want to trade a lot, go trade decentralized. You can trade decentralized. It's going to be cheaper too. It's not even cheap to trade on Coinbase. That's what I gotta like make a video for. I gotta be like, yo, look, I know a lot of y'all think it's cheaper to trade on Coinbase. It's not.
It's no longer called Elron. It's called Multiverse X. To 1,000, I don't know. Considering that you don't even know the new name is a little concerning. So to 1,000. No, probably not. Not this cycle. Maybe, but I don't think so. That's a lot of X's right there. That's like 50X.
Okay, we're about to get ourselves a pizza. Epic
After
stuff
one
crust,
BDC,
15.
you continue to buy more. I do have other coins from last
Garlic
position.
epic stuff
I mean,
crust.
It's up to you, man.
It's 14.
50, 25, 25 was what I recommend to newcomers. 50% in portfolio in Bitcoin, 25% in big caps, 25% is mid to small.
That's messed up.
Right?
Hold up, I gotta pause him.
And on
Like,
top of that,
mute
you
him. I can't believe they're over here talking about this on Baba John's. Like, yo, if you want to get our garlic stuffed crust, $13.99. But if you want to just get normal stuffed crust, $15.99. What's up with the $2 extra for me not wanting garlic on it? Like, what? You got me, because now I'm gonna do it. Now I'm just gonna take the garlic on it, but like I didn't want it. Get your spicy garlic stuff. No. Whatever. First world problems. Yeah, we are like George, bro. George is over here Scheming the market. Feel you, George.
Johnny, I still remember. You still have the picture of the E46. Family and I have shared a single car since and looking into Model 3.
So do we just do pepperoni and bacon?
I would
Pepperoni,
definitely
bacon,
wait until the new
sausage?
Model 3 comes out because it's already out in Europe and China, not in the US. You definitely should.
I always use sausage, so I'm gonna do pepperoni bacon. Cosmos. And then should I be bad? Should I get a soda? I haven't had a soda in a while.
In my honest opinion, though, if it's a family car, get a Y. There's only
Treat
like
myself.
a few $1,000 difference, and a Y is so much better, so much more practical, easier to get in and out. It's bigger, more leg room, more cargo room, nearly as fast, nearly the same range. So I would highly suggest going with a Model Y instead of a 3. Good day. I already answered your super chat, my man. It's not gonna go to 1,000. Not this cycle, at least.
We're gonna use that $10 of Papa dough. Use
Steak
it.
or seafood? You know, recently I've been getting sick of steak. So I think I'd rather eat seafood. I like crab.
Do I want to put the?
King
Maybe I should
crab.
put the sausage
I like
on
lobster.
it. I'm gonna put the sausage on it too. That crab though. I'm about that crab life.
I don't know. I'm getting sick of steak for some reason.
How much does that increase the cost of this for sausage on a pizza?
Here's an
$2.
interesting innuendo question. Say you've been eating steak your whole life, and one day you decided that you're sick of steak and you want some seafood, but you're not allowed to have it. So what do you do then? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you guys get that, but yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. All right. What else is there? Mark, now that you're a advisor of DFK, did you pick up a bag of jewel, crystal, or jade? What's the best way to get these tokens USD? You have to get it within, the game right now, right? And no, I did not. I don't own any of them right now. Honestly, I'm waiting because when Mythic Swap comes out, that's when you could easily get all those and more. I'm really excited about Mythic Swap. And I am excited about DFK, but I still have my doubts. But I know Dreamer and the team are working very, very hard. Very hard indeed. To try to, get it ready for the bull run and get more players back in. Yep.
A parallel over DFK. Though DFK is not a bad game. I think it's cool. It's cool concepts and stuff. I got money over there.
Shout out to Mario from Bolivia. Enjoy watching and learning from you, George. Are you shouting yourself out, or who's Mario from Bolivia? Yasleen. My grandfather ate a steak every day for 65 years. He died at 105. Wow.
Ate a steak every day for 65 years?
It's tough, but there's a lot of
It's weird, bro. I don't even think anything to say to that, but that's weird. Hold up, let me see. Why did he say he stopped smoking? What do you do? What's up, Aristotle?
They really was trying to get me while I was in the military, mainly because I was a young black rich man. So it was a lot of stress I was dealing with when I was getting out, and weed definitely helped. But I don't really deal with stress like that anymore. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm numb to all the bullshit. I'm Ray Charles to all the bullshit. It is what it is. you know, that's life. Like when you first I became a millionaire at 23. So it was a very stressful thing to go through. When I can't lie to you, those first 2 years was stressful as hell. Even though I was traveling, getting money, doing my thing, like, you know, it just was what it was. So, you know, like that's part of it. But day 6 of not smoking weed, I feel like I got a lot more energy. I've been, you know, really on it with business. I can remember a lot more, things like that. So it is what it is. Even though, you know, I still got rich off the gas. I was rich 100%. I was smoking the 100% of the time, like 100%. Even when I was in the Army, I was smoking CBD. I always needed some type of drug to help me keep going, whether it was CBD or weed. Those are the only 2 I did. And I won't say drug, I'll say a plant. I always needed some type of herbal healing, as I like to call it. There's nothing, if you still smoke weed, continue to do what you do. I just know I stopped, all right? And then we could talk about some networking shit and all that, and my experience with networking and all that, and how I would say the mistakes I made with networking and just navigating business, so you guys don't make the same mistakes I did.
I'm gonna give him a like.
Mistake number 1 was
I gotta like George's. Probably should like George's. Hold up. Before I was gonna watch this by myself.
In today's video, I'm going to show you how to yield farm in 2023. Yield farming is a way of earning passive income in crypto, and it's kind of fallen out of favor the past couple of years. However, if you know where to look, there are still some written up on my Substacks. Liquidity mining to either secure
staking, so individually lending, individual. Both of these are kind of like single asset liquidity pools. Liquidity mining could be individual or paired. Options strategies. I don't be doing any options. I don't feel
you
like
can
that's like
lend
sources of
tokens. You can lend crypto portion of tokens that we actually are interested in holding, and then we're going to look for ways to earn yield on it, which is really what you should do, right? The yield.
Yes, that's what I was saying at the beginning of today's stream. ETH and USDC are my tokens. Like I'm like, I want that ETH.
Calculate the correlation between that are going to be traded on the blockchain. So we're gonna. This isn't to say that you should buy these coins, but I think those are 0.34%. And so, for example, some of these other tokens, like let's look at Aptos right here. I don't mean to pick on Aptos, I just pick them, but you see their reward rate is 6.37%, but their inflation rate is 26.71%. So ideally, you want that reward to be high. So that's ETH. Now,
a little bit of Canton. He's looking up. I think he's just looking up staking them like straight up in the network. Just like not the best way to like liquidity. Like, LPs is going to be the best way. I don't think anything's going to be.
And then here you can just add most major cryptos. So for example, we are going to add Optimism, and we're going to add Canto. Let's see, and we can see here, or why outweighed yield on ETH better be better than 3.7 or whatever. The reason that this is a little bit lower is partially could be depending on how they measured it, whether we can to ETH Canto here. And all right, so if we see an APY that's incredible, and we say, okay, so that is probably deal with it. P tokens can help you out. All right, so now, and let's see where we can earn yield on our OP. So we have ETH OP 3.91%. This is what I'm talking about with most lending protocols. 3.91%, not really doing it.
Yeah,
we'll be able to pair those two.
Bro, why are you looking at boring stuff?
30%, 40%. It's been pretty flat around 35-40% actually. So I'm comfortable with them, and we're going to earn around 39% APY on that. And so there you have it. You have 3 tokens. You really don't need to complicate it that much.
If that risk premium isn't there, Bill, I am curious as to exactly what equity investors would have to hang their hat on to justify entering into this market.
Well, I think, Romain, they would have a hat to hang on, perhaps AI and the potential increase across the economy in terms of productivity.
It's like a mad scientist. Know what that is.
As well, they would hang their hat on a stronger economy that may continue to persist as opposed to a recession that many are expecting. That's what they would hang their hat on. I would go the other way and take the hat off.
Take the hat off. And I mean, we know in the past from speaking to you as well as some of your other public statements that you took the hat off a while ago. Here, I mean, what hat are you wearing right now?
Well, let me explain it this way. I think PE ratios are coming down. Katie explained it in terms of an equity risk premium being close to, basically the
bank is mostly just because you got like a lot of hair in the back.
Risk in terms of stocks relative to treasury bills or short-term treasury notes. I would put it this way. Give me 30 seconds for an example.
You just comb it backwards?
20, turn it upside down as an EP ratio at 5, so an earnings ratio at 5.
I think that's what he did.
A PE ratio of 20 was a year and a half ago, and since then, real yields, as Katie pointed out, have gone up by a good 350 basis points. If, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but if the earnings yield ratio, the EP ratio, went up from 5 to 8.5%, then PE ratios would be down around 12 or 13. Now that's a little old school. That's Gordon discount, dividend discount model type of thing, but it does indicate the direction in terms of PE ratios that they might move if we see a situation of real yields still at 2.40%.
And let's break down what we've seen in terms of nominal yields. As you mentioned, real yields very high, and they've been in the driver's seat, really, if you think about this rise in the 10-year yield. Talk to us, though, about break-evens. Do you think that inflation expectations should be higher here, given what we're seeing in the energy market?
Yeah, I think it should. And, the break-even rate for the 10-year, amazingly, is rather stable between 2 and 2.3% today. I think around 2.34%. And so that's the expectation for inflation. I would say it's more like 3. Getting down to 2 is going to be very difficult going forward. And so, that to me means that nominal treasuries, take the 10-year again at 4.75 or 4.8, that nominal treasuries are basically based upon an expectation for a 3% Fed funds rate over a long-term basis. There is an equity risk premium that you talked about. There is a term premium for bonds as well of about 1 to 1.25%, because that's the risk of owning a 10-year versus a treasury bill. And so if Fed funds settle around 3 to 3.5%, a 5% 10-year treasury is decent value. It's not great value.
What is great value, though? When you think about 5% on a 10-year treasury, we haven't seen that for 15 years plus. If that's not great, what is great?
Well, it's greater. There's no doubt about that. But 5% again would be a normal bond term premium of about 1.25% under 3% inflationary expectations. So that's okay. And I know corporate spreads have widened out a little bit, and that makes them attractive. But what I think has happened, Katie, in the past several weeks, and the market is beginning to recognize treasury supply. Based upon a $2 trillion deficit, they're beginning to recognize, basically the selling of bonds by the Fed in terms of the QT. They're beginning to recognize higher for longer as well. And so those two factors have been important in terms of the current rise. What I've seen in the last week is that the bond vigilantes, to the extent that they are now individuals owning, billions and billions, hundreds of billions of bond ETFs. Yeah. They've been spooked over the last week or so by declines of 2, 3, 4, 5% in their ETFs, and so I think they're joining the crowd in terms of selling, and we're seeing a little bit of an oversold market here, headed to 5%.
Certainly oversold. But I do worry, Bills, about some of these external events. Of course, yesterday there was a lot of hoopla around basically the Speaker of the House losing his position here, and whether this was symptomatic of some of the dysfunction in Washington.
This dude, I gotta do this math now. This dude was talking kind of wild to me. He's like, oh, my bonds are so much better than anything in crypto, because they're protected. I'm like, all right, so you're earning 3% off these fucking bonds? And he had a lot of money in it. So he's earning about 3% off these bonds. He had about $38,000 in these bonds. It's 38 or 32. If it's 38, hold up, let me give you both of these. Oops. If it's $38,000, within a year he's looking to make $1,000. And if it's 32, within a year he's looking to make, it's 1,140. Within 32, he's looking to make 96. Or $960. So he's looking to make about $1,000 a year from depositing $38,000 that he could not touch for X amount of time, like a long period of time. For that. What did we show earlier? Earlier, I showed our ETH and USDC pair $2,000. $2,000. Which is earning us $300 in this next month. Means we're gonna crush this dude within the first, by the end of Q4, we're gonna have earned more than this guy is gonna earn with his $38,000, and we can just remove it. I mean, we still have, we got access to that. We don't have to wait 2 years, 10 years, whatever he's doing. We don't have to wait. We just got access to it now. This man is a fool, bro. I can't with some people.
You mentioned federal debt. We know debt servicing costs have gone up from sub 2% here for the government to, I think, now somewhere in the 4 or 5% range here on average. How much of that ends up becoming...
One more thing. This is the thing. Because he was super trying to down crypto stuff. I'm like, you could just, if you got that much, you could just take out, again, we did the difference of from 38,000 to 32,000. It's like a $200 difference. He could just take a fraction of that. He could take the difference. He could take the difference of the 32 to 38,000 and make that $1,000 a year in 1 month. If he just took the difference between the two, if he took that he made $6,000. So I'd be amplifying what I have times 3. He would make that $1,000 that he's gonna make in an entire year in 1 month. Fucking fool. Sorry, bro. It's a fool, bro. people be trying to talk down on you. It's like, fam, like, you know what? You got more money than me, but you're not smarter. Like, you think you are. I don't know.
But to me, it indicates disruption in terms of the process, additional disruption based upon what we've seen, because 10 conservative Republicans, basically are running the show in the House, and so that will increase volatility in terms of.
Mommy and Daddy gave you a nice chunk of money out of school, and I started with $0.
I guess fiscal conservatism for quite some time, at least not one that is listened to, and I'm talking on both sides of the aisle. This isn't just a party issue here. It just seems that whatever appetite that we had to address the fiscal situation, at least for now, just seems to have completely dissipated.
Well, yeah, the fiscal situation is very much of a negative. Like I mentioned, $2 trillion in terms of a deficit, at least for this particular fiscal year. And the incredible thing you pointed out in the past, that the higher level of interest that the Treasury must pay is going to add increasingly to this deficit going forward. And so we don't have much to hope for in terms of deficit spending. If anything,
have that much weight still in the market?
No, there isn't, Romain, and I use the term loosely because back in the day, the vigilantes that Ed Yardeni talked about were in control to some extent. These days, to speak about an ETF holding by an individual as representing a bond vigilante is a little loose, a little bit of a stretch, as I suggested. But what I've seen in the past week or two are significant sales of ETFs. The volume on AGG or the volume on BND, which are $100 billion ETFs, has been significant. So what I see are these smaller vigilantes joining, the Treasury, joining the Fed in terms of negative pressure for bond prices and higher pressure for bond yields.
Well, just to ask sort of a simple scene-setting question, if it's not vigilantes, what do you think is driving this move at the long end? Do you think about 80, 90, 100 basis points move higher in 10-year Treasury yields over the past couple months? What's driving that, and what's going to bring it lower?
Yeah, I think so. That's important, and we talk about a forecast for a 10-year Treasury, but we should also talk about the shape of the yield curve. And as you mentioned, longer yields are headed higher, shorter yields not so much, and we have a less negative yield curve, which I think is important going forward in terms of markets. So what's driving it? I think to some extent the sales of ETFs, which own long duration as opposed to short duration, is important. I think the mix of Treasury sales is important going forward. Next week we'll see a 3, a 10, and a 30-year combined offering of perhaps $100 billion, and so the long end is being pressured based upon supply and based upon expectations for a stronger economy than what was the expectation 3 to 6 months ago.
Bill, you tweeted yesterday, 30-year mortgage at 7.7%. This shuts down the housing market. And to that point, Bill, it feels like everyone is unhappy here. You have sellers struggling to sell, and buyers don't necessarily want to buy in this market either.
Well, I think that's true. That speaks to the secondary market. What I was suggesting as well is the new housing market, construction, new housing starts, and so on. And it's hard to see, despite the relative success, I guess, of home builder stocks in the past several months, it's hard to see how new homes can be sold with a 7.7% mortgage and maybe some points added onto that. So, typically housing
cost of lumber keep falling, it might become cheaper to build.
And so what we've seen is a relatively robust housing market, but at 7.7%, that doubles and in some cases triples the payments, the home payments that a homeowner would have expected, perhaps a year and a half ago.
Yeah, absolutely, Bill. And I am curious. About the secondary
he got that thing.
Hear the phones. There's a national test going on here that's going across the newsroom and beyond. So no worries there, Bill. You weren't the only one with the phone on. I am curious. When we look at spreads, I mean, you mentioned earlier about corporate spreads, but I was taking a look at MBS spreads as well, and they've really sort of widened out to, I think, probably some of the cheapest levels that we've seen, at least since the big housing bubble collapse a few years back here. I'm curious at what we can extrapolate about that here. If you have that tightness in the housing market and nobody's making money in MBS here, what's the equal sign and what comes after that?
Well, I think you're correct. I mean, the spread between a 30-year mortgage, and there's an index on your Bloomberg screen that will point that out at 7.7% or so, but that spread relative to a 10-year government is significantly wide. To me, what that portends going forward, if that spread narrows, is very much a benefit to mortgage REITs, such as Annaly, such as AGNC, that yield about 16%. Now, this particular sector thrives on a less negative yield curve, and it thrives, basically on lower market volatility in terms of the Treasury market, both of which, hopefully we're going to see going forward. So is a 16% yield on a mortgage REIT a safe yield? Not necessarily. They've been cut before if these mortgage REITs have been over-levered, but I think they learned their lesson. I think we can move into the sector and capture the yields as well as perhaps a 10% price appreciation if the mortgage spread narrows.
And Bill, I did want to switch gears here in the couple minutes we have left with you and ask about something that you had in your investment outlook. You wrote that some of the best bets right now are arbitrages in merger and acquisition deals. You specifically named Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard. I'm curious whether you view that as idiosyncratic to that specific deal, or are merger arbs in general more attractive right now?
Well, they've become more attractive in the last week or two as liquidity in both markets, in the stock market and the bond market, has declined. And in some cases, as I was explaining to my wife last night at dinner, margin is required to maintain those positions. So, ATVI Activision, to my way of thinking, it's 7 days away from approval by the UK Regulatory Commission. That means
that's like funny to me because I'm sure she found that riveting. Maybe she did.
Price goes from 94 to 95. That's a point. That's 1.1%. Is that a big deal? It is over 7 days. And so, there are other examples such as Capri, which owns Jimmy Choo's, and other lines that are being acquired by a private investor, and that's selling at a discount of 10, 11, 12%. So there are situations, not a lot of them, but situations in which arbitrage can produce returns certainly much higher than what we've seen in the equity market over the past few months.
All right, yeah, he gets a
Let's
second
talk about
play.
somebody who's forgotten more about the bond market than most of us will ever know, and that is PIMCO co-founder Bill Gross. There you go. It's true, Bill. Many investors call you the bond king. You've made money, but you can do anything you want now. You're literally unconstrained, Bill Gross, as we will say. What do you make of what is happening right now? And is there a level that you see the 10-year stopping at? Could we go to 5 or 7%?
The bond king.
Well, I think we can go to 5, Brian. The market certainly is oversold at the moment in anticipation of Treasury supplies, in anticipation of higher for longer in terms of the Fed and the Fed's own quantitative tightening program. And in the last few days, an interesting new aspect to the bond market, ETFs, exchange-traded funds, large bond ETFs, numbering in the $90 to $100 billion range. They're experiencing higher volume.
We should watch Jim Cramer next.
That small investors, vigilantes, small vigilantes, not large vigilantes, but small vigilantes are selling. And when you combine all three, the Treasury, the Fed, the retail market with ETFs, then you have an explanation for what's happening. And I think maybe 5% caps it for the near term. It depends, of course, on inflation. It depends on economic growth. We'll see going forward.
Okay, well, 5% actually to some people might sound pretty good. I assume you're talking about the TLT and some other ETFs. Bill, but you mentioned rising issuance, maybe just more bonds put on the markets because of deficits. Is that what has happened recently? Because what I guess I'm confused by is that interest rates have been going up for 2 years, but it feels like in the last just week or 2 or 3, something really changed. Is there something broken in the bond market right now?
Well, I think it's recognition of the supply on the longer end. What we've seen in the last year and a half or so is the Fed raising interest rates from basically 0 to 5.5%, and that's had an effect on the yield curve, a negative term yield curve. But now what we're seeing is a recognition of the Treasury deficit that is $2 trillion plus, and that's affecting the long end. As is, I think, in the last few days, the selling of ETFs, which basically own long bonds as opposed to short bonds. So we're seeing a higher yield market, and we're seeing a less negative yield curve, which I think is very important.
National debt is soaring, 33 trillion and counting. The deficit, despite what some people may hear, is actually on the rise. It is not going down. It is going up. But debts and deficits, Bill, have not mattered, at least so far. Are we seeing a moment now where they are starting to matter? And on a macro level, is the U.S. going to be okay? I mean, if I'm S&P or Moody's, am I looking at a debt downgrade for the U.S.?
Well, we've seen a minor one already. But I think what's happened is that the supply of longer-term bonds has been recognized by the market in the last month or two, as opposed to where we were a few months ago. And the higher interest rates, which are self-fulfilling in terms of higher yields, leading to larger deficits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so the bond market is a captive of not only the Treasury market and Treasury supply, the Fed, and as I mentioned, the retail bond vigilantes, which don't like 3 to 4% price declines over the last week.
Can the U.S., can taxpayers afford this? We're nearing $1 trillion in just interest on the national debt. Again, maybe modern monetary theory kicks in here. Money doesn't actually have any meaning. I don't know. But I do wonder, as a nation, can we afford it?
Well, yes, and you mentioned new monetary theory. The combination of fiscal and monetary policy is something relatively recently in the last 3, 4, 5 years, and it basically suggests that the Treasury can run a deficit of any proportion because the Fed will buy Treasuries and keep interest rates relatively low. Now that leads to inflation, as we've seen here in the past 6 to 12 months, but ultimately there's no problem in terms of surviving from the standpoint of financial markets. The Fed will just buy what the Treasury issues.
My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now.
You got to know what the normies are looking at.
Hey, I'm Kramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Kramer America. Good, my friends. I'm just trying to make you a little money. My job is not just to entertain, but to teach you. So call me at 1-800-743-CBC. Your previous Kramer. Is it finally time to dust off the March playbook? Remember, this market got crushed in February as we realized that wasn't done tightening. Then we had some banks collapse in early March, and we stopped worrying about the Fed because we figured the economy had been weakening. That led to a wholesale shift into tech and out of finance. That turned into a launching pad for a multi-month run led by the mega cap techs, especially the Magnificent Seven. So could a similar situation be coming together now after weeks upon weeks of pain? That may be what we saw today. Dow advancing 127 points at the beginning, 0.81%, and the Nasdaq jumping 1.35%. It was a total shake-off of the endless selling, and it really didn't start happening until later in the afternoon. While it's hard to believe that history can repeat itself, especially within 8 months, I gotta say the setup seems remarkably similar, even if the starting point's very different. Yet today we had a bit of a replay from March, where newfound worries of a recession from demand destruction overwhelmed those who were fretting about an inflationary spiral of growth that seemed impervious to all the Fed's rate hikes. We just don't know if this is merely a one-day respite, though, or maybe it's hard to sleep here. Hey, come on, after the Charnel House, we've been through a few hours of higher prices looms larger than maybe it should. It's been down so long, it looked up to me today. To give you some context here, let's rewind the tape to the spring. In March, we had the collapse of a few highly visible banks, which set off a wave of fear that all of the regional banks might be going down like dominoes. That fear caused a collapse in Treasury yields, a run toward the most solvent companies, and an abandonment of any company that needed to borrow money to make the numbers, as a recession appeared imminent. As the many bank crisis dragged on, Treasury yields plummeted out of fear, and it seemed like the Fed might finally actually be done tightening. At the very least, they paused, and that was when the Magnificent Seven were born. And by the way, they were born out of desperation. The desperation of finding companies that had a lot of cash, didn't need to borrow. They were flush. Now, we all know what's happened since then. The economy didn't stall. In fact, it accelerated. The Fed started a new round of rate hikes, and it made clear that interest rates would stay, and they would use this phrase over and over again, higher for longer. In response, a very quick but narrow bull market turned into a wide and horrifying bear market masked by tech, as rates climbed ever higher, almost piggybacking off the rally in oil. The most visible sign that the economy had become a runaway train, with stocks looking like a bunch of school buses stalled on the bottom market tracks. That is still today. See, today, oil, which had been hanging on by its fingernails after a brutal reversal 2 days ago, that caused it to lose the $90 level, suddenly just got annihilated, falling more than $5, falling more than 5% to $84 and change. This thing was 94 a couple days ago. It was a breathtaking decline brought on not by new supply from the Saudis or the Russians or even the Permian Basin, but by a collapse in demand. Specifically seasonal demand, the lowest in 25 years, because of high prices at the pump. That's right, gasoline, it got too expensive. And that collapse caused long-term Treasury yields to plummet. Remember, it seems like there's less inflation. Very refreshing after watching go up in a straight line since April, isn't it? Makes perfect sense too. When long rates were soaring, we were constantly told the bond market was dancing to the tune of oil, because oil is widely seen as a barometer of economic strength. Today we realize it's possible that the turbocharged oil rally may have been nothing more than a charade, a sham even, something brought on by a short squeeze that ended when oil couldn't take out 95, let alone $100. Actual sellers came to the market, and the refiners no longer seem to be begging for more oil, because gasoline demand's been drying up at these high prices. It happened overnight, I mean literally overnight. Now, there are a host of important indicators that are showing a much more mixed picture right now in the economy. We saw robust job growth and business formation, according to John Gibson the other night that we had one, the CEO of Paychex, which is the largest payroll processor for small and medium-sized businesses that are doing so well. The manufacturing economy is certainly humming. Maybe that's an infrastructure money. There are parts of the country where companies still can't find enough people to hire. We know there's still inflation flaring in many places. Plus, between the Fed and the Treasury, way too many bonds are being sold, which sends those Treasury yields higher. Remember, it is still a market. There's too much supply. But for a brief moment today, we saw the division between the flush and the naked, and the money rushed to the companies that were flush or running away from those that need to borrow. That's just like the March bottom. So is today a real repeat of March replete with cascading bank stocks and the commodity stocks being clubbed into submission? I know you don't hear me say this, but we can't be sure. We have an auto strike that threatens to get out of control with both sides hardening and billions being lost in this country because of disruptions. Waters are a meaningful part of the GDP. They can't bring the economy down by themselves, but a strike can throw a lot of people out of work. We got housing numbers today that show the fewest mortgage applications since 1996. Hey, no kidding. Mortgage rates are almost at 8%. Of course that's going to matter. It didn't change about a year and a half ago. Housing's been a horse, but maybe not such a swift horse anymore. Are these symptoms of legitimate slowdown that would make the spike in long-term treasury yields a one-time chance to lock in a much better rate than you've gotten if you want to invest since 2006? Or is it all fool's gold? Truthfully, again, you don't want to hear this, but I don't know. Is it better just to own that? I don't know. But here's the good news. We don't have to wait that long to find out. We don't have to wait. On Friday morning at 8:30, we get the September non-farm payroll report. That's the single most important set of government statistics out there. And that's not just my opinion. Everybody knows it. Who knew that? Now, I have examined the long-term impact of every single report that comes out from the government, and the only one with true staying power to influence both stock and bond prices is indeed the non-farm payroll report. If it shows more layoffs than expected and slower wage growth, it'll be hard to justify the relentless rally in interest rates. They'll seem like overdone, and the Fed's more likely to stay its hand. So what do we do? Well, because the stock market is as oversold as it was in March, and you know I care about that oscillator, and that's where we got to. When we had the fabled tech-led rebound, I certainly can't count on selling. You might be dumping your stocks in the beginning of what could be a better behaved bond market, but the earnings reports will most likely be pretty good. In particular, like in March, I think tech will shine, especially the semiconductor stocks that aren't connected to cell phones. Hey, somebody downgraded Apple today and the stock went up. What does that tell you? We've been buying some tech for my travel trust, which you can follow along by joining the CNBC Investing Club. Purchased some yesterday. At the same time, the economic weakness could change the Fed's approach. Is going to hurt plenty of companies. Here's the ones you got to think about: retailers, banks, and housing. In March, it was really just the banks. Now there are far more sectors that are, let's say, on the ropes. Last night I left here having watched videos of the usual billionaire suspects telling us on air the regular litany of negatives about the coming collapse of our great nation on the altar of the national debt. I watched hedge fund managers, many of whom are probably likely short bonds, telling us to get out of bonds now because it's too late, because bond prices are going to get crushed as interest rates soar because of hyperinflation. I saw moguls play anyone with anything remotely positive to say, calling them out as charlatans, as naive bulls. I did not hear one person, certainly not one billionaire, say it was time to buy anything. Now, uniform negativity doesn't always mean we're about the bottom. Neither is this market's extremely oversold position, nor the decline in oil. But let me put it this way: we certainly have plenty of tinder for a rally. There are some Kingsfords lying around, and maybe even a door flame or two. You get a weak payroll number on Friday, then I think we can get a narrow repeat of the rebound we saw in March. Bottom line, maybe all that needs to happen is for the frantic bond sellers to slow the pace of their sales. They don't even have to stop. They just have to be less desperate. Once that happens, we can finally focus on the myriad stocks that have been crushed for weeks now, many of which don't deserve it. No need to jump the gun.
This is like funny to me as like somebody who studied film for a while, where it's like it's a lot of like shaky. It's a shakiness. They're trying to like give you a certain type of energy around that unease.
No, we'll find out soon enough. Zach in Texas. Zach.
Jimmy, how's it going, man?
Not bad, Zach. How are you?
Oh, it's a Monday. Having a case of the Mondays, but we'll get through it.
I think it's like Wednesday. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I might be wrong.
No, let me check. I got a bunch of Apple things. Oh, Apple, sell, right? I mean, is that what they say? Go ahead.
That's what it is. Look,
yeah,
man,
Apple's only down 30. Time to dump it, right? I mean, we gotta get out of that one. What's happening?
Look, man, I've been trying to pull the trigger for years, but here's what I'm on. In the next 5 years, where do you see Target stock going?
5 years? Wow. God, what's a 5-year Target claw? Okay, I think the Target is a very good company, but I only really like it in retail business. I like TJX. I like Costco. Okay, they're good. And I like the Amazon, and I'm willing to throw in Walmart because I'm a forgiving judge of retail. All right. Hey, whoa, nice shot. Hey, take that. Now, it might be too early to tell, but if the bond market stabilizes from here, we may finally be able to focus on some of the stocks that have gotten hammered over the past few months. On Man Money tonight. One running hosted Investor Day earlier today, highlighting how many shoes my wife was blowing the clock. No, a host of long-term growth targets, and with the stock dropping the announcement, I'm running through the latest with the company's top press. And breaking up is hard to do unless you're Dana her. I'm taking a closer look at the story. If the company spun off its environmental applied solutions division, hey, you got some interesting stocks here. And this year's been volatile year for the beer stocks. But could a stock like Molson Coors buck the trend? I'm checking in with the company CEO, and so far I like what I see or taste. So stay with Kramer.
That was
don't miss a second of Mad
literally like a waste of time, actually. The other guy tap one. Oh, okay. Heated debate: is Andrew Tate good for society? You know, Tate could fix his messaging a little. You'd be good if he didn't piss off so many women with his like remarks about women. He should just keep it to like how guys can improve themselves. Because like that type of stuff is actually like solid, and a lot of things that he says about that, they're just true. And even in some of his stuff of like, you know, guys to a female relation, it's true. He says true stuff. However, he's often very like chauvinistic, and like it's just like he goes too far with too much stuff. That's it for this. We got like, man, oh man, is it gonna take it all the way down here? If it goes down, if the market goes down to 1636, I'll load up another $100. We're only gonna have lost like $6 or something like that from that, but on the ride back up, we can earn that much more. Again, we only leveraged 3%, so yeah. Cajun boiled eggs, bruh. I don't know about that. You just looking at the. I wanna play some parallel right now, but I don't think we should do a parallel stream at this point in time. I think we're just gonna call it. Your boy's tired. It's been a long day, man. Wake up in the earlies. The sun don't even be up. The sun is down. I'm still sitting at the same computer. Been writing all day, researching all day. We gonna chill. See you guys later. I gotta start making more like short videos and stuff like that. That's why like I've been liking the writing recently, because I can just write content. It's good content. Unfortunately, it doesn't reach a ton of people, but I get paid for it regardless, and it's good content. It's good content, and like I can share it to people later and be like, "This here, you asking me a question here? Read this." It's like a 3-minute read, 4-minute read. Read it, learn that information, come back to me.